The USA is preparing to announce that captured Ukrainian territory will now be considered a legitimate part of Russia. It comes only a week after US Special Envoy to the Middle East Steve Witkoff proposed a peace deal to the Ukraine that's as unacceptable to them as the Austro-Hungarians proposed to the Serbs prior to World War I.
We want to see the end of the killing and the death and the suffering, and I'm sure the Ukrainian side, I know they do as well, they want peace. But it's also about securing an end to the war that leaves Ukraine sovereign and independent and with an opportunity at real prosperity.
In order for Ukraine to secure peace under his plan, they would need to surrender all the land Russia has already occupied, as well as land in Donbass that they currently still own, while at the same time halving their armed forces and foregoing any foreign military help into the future. Ukraine has so far rejected that deal. It would also have constituted one of the largest surrenders of sovereign land since World War II, and one of the few times a hostile takeover has been recognized by the international community. To think about the effects this would have leading forward, we need to look fairly far afield, all the way into Southeast Asia and an area of Indonesia known as West Papua. Until 1962, West Papua was a Dutch colony. They never gained their independence, but instead, they were handed to Indonesia by the Dutch government. The Indonesians even held an election voting for the takeover where only 1,100 hand-picked West Papuans were allowed to vote. The annexation was called the 1962 New York Agreement and was orchestrated not by the West Papuans, but instead by the Indonesians and the Dutch. What was supposed to signify the end of colonialism instead led to massacres and human rights abuses of West Papuans at the hands of their now UN-recognized government. Even though West Papua is acknowledged by the rest of the world as part of Indonesia, there is constant civil unrest and conflict in the area as they fight for their independence. The people of West Papua are vastly different from mainland Indonesians, and while Indonesian is the official language, there are over 250 indigenous languages spoken throughout the region. The people are closer in ethnicity to Papua New Guineans than Indonesians, as the landmass is basically an extension of New Guinea. The people don't see themselves as Indonesian. Many weren't born as Indonesian, and instead had the nationality thrust upon them. They don't speak the same language, don't hold the same customs, and don't follow the Islamic religion of their Indonesian government. Crimea and eastern Ukraine are similar. While the US can side with Russia and declare the territory as Russian, the people likely won't. Part of Witkoff's plan already points out the fact that Ukraine won't acknowledge Russia's claim to Crimea, and from all accounts, the people feel the same way. Whilst peace negotiations fly back and forth between Moscow, Kiev, and Washington, Vladimir Putin has expressed his willingness to continue the war and claim significant parts of Ukraine as Russian territory.